Hello everyone, welcome to the Centric United BU series. Today I have Diego Hernandez with me. How you doing, man?
Not bad.
Awesome. Love it.
A little tired, you know?
Sure, yeah. What's been making you tired?
Work,
Sure.
I swear. School and work, between balancing those two lives is not an easy task.
Right, yeah.
And my work definitely is, Mondays are an interesting one.
Mondays are an interesting one, okay.
It's production day, you know.
Okay.
We're weekly papers, so it's kind of comes out. Mondays typically are that day that's everyone's a little high strung.
Sure.
But we get through it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's fine.
Yeah, explain to me more about your job, your work.
So at the moment, I'm working for the Montana Kaiman. We are the University of Montana school newspaper, but we do run independently from the school, so we're roughly funded by them, but we kind of print our own stuff. We're our own entity of the school. I am a staff photographer for them, so I take photos. It's my job, basically.
Okay.
I just take photos of whatever stories are happening that week for different subject matters, a wide range of things. If you look us up online, I'm in a lot of photos. I have a lot of photos online.
Awesome.
But yeah, I just get to take photos. It's
Cool.
pretty much my job.
So, awesome. Yeah, almost like dream come true for a guy like who loves photography like you.
Yeah. Yes. Journalism is not. It's not going to be my future. I
Sure.
can definitely say that. I am getting a journalism degree, but it's not my place.
Okay.
I can be real with you with that. Journalism is, there's too much rules for me.
Sure.
I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of rules that go into photography and journalism, and
Right.
I don't like rules.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's kind of backwards, isn't it? Like, I mean.
Yeah, it's a lot of ethical concerns in journalism. There's a lot of things you can and can't shoot that. So, especially with like the technical side, there's things you can't do to edit wise, like you can't really go overboard on editing, you
Sure.
can't really do any of the new technology that editing's come out. It's basically the same rules that film photography was back in the day, which
Sure.
is good and bad.
Okay.
It keeps people honest in the industry, but it's not my place. I prefer more the marketing side of photography, and that's where I work
Sure.
outside of this job. So.
Okay, cool. Interesting. That is so interesting. And so, yeah, you mentioned you're going to school for journalism.
Mhm.
Okay,
I'm
awesome.
a photojournalism major. What year am I? I'm technically a second semester junior.
Okay, cool.
I think credits are kind of weird in
Sure.
college.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, so photography is obviously a huge part of your life. And that we kind of talked to like the work side of it. But
Yeah.
like, let's talk about your passion with photography, right? You've taken pictures of a lot of different things. If you just want to like talk about that. go for it.
Yes. I started taking photos a long time ago at this point. I think I really started getting into photography in my freshman year of high school. And in that time, my school has I went to a public high school in Portland, Oregon, and we had a pretty strict and award-winning arts program there, like very hard to get into and very competitive for a public school, which was kind of crazy.
Sure.
That program really set me up like with fundamentals in photography,
Okay.
and I never really I liked photography because it got to like have an outlet to doing like some artistic stuff. I was never really into drawing or painting, but I did like art.
Sure.
And that same things, and I really like composition, which is a lot of I kind of use a lot in my photography and like space. And I love those like fundamentals of photography. I just never really like found my like place in photography until I don't even know what year it was. Probably my senior year of high school. I kind of started branching into action sports photography because of the sports that I like doing and like what I did with like competed in and stuff. It kind of just blended really easily into that side. And I found out that I really love shooting photography, like action sports photography. And in that, I have a lot of connections already. So it really kind of propelled me into that side of the industry.
Huh.
But
That's so cool. Yeah, what type of action sports?
my primary photography, I do biking photography. So I go to a lot of different events in mountain biking. It's kind of the realm of stuff that I love doing. I love mountain biking. Just never, while I competed in mountain biking over the years, I never was like I was good, but never good enough to like really compete at the levels that like you need to be a professional. But I was good enough to carry a camera back down the trail after professionals.
Sure.
So it kind of leaded to that like side of like, oh, I can go on all these trails and I can like keep up, but I'm not going to be like tricking these big jumps or backflipping this 40-foot gap.
Dude.
But since then, I've gotten better where I feel like I could probably, but like at the same point, I like photography more on that side of it.
Yeah.
It's a cooler experience for me.
Awesome.
I do shoot other things outside of biking. Snowboarding, I've shot a couple events here and there. I wanted to shoot X Games this year, just with school, didn't work out.
Oh, shit.
I want to shoot rock climbing really badly.
Okay, cool.
I've never shot it before, but I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm not a rock climber, but there's always time to learn.
Yeah, dude, there's that movie, I think it's called like Free Solo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that movie is just unbelievable.
I have that kind of stuff that really interests me. I really want to get into like extreme sports, more of those, where I'm like already in that, but I really want to get to a point where I can kind of just go and do, like pitch out to my employer and be like, hey, I want to go do this alpining trip, like go and climb a mountain, and I want to take photos of it.
Right.
Let me go do that kind of thing.
That would be cool.
That's the ideal career, and I'm kind of like working my way towards that, but getting to party along the way with bikes, which is pretty much the dream life.
Sick. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool, man. That's so interesting. What would you say like your favorite event you've done so far is?
For photography, that's a hard one. This last year has been a really fun time for me.
Sure.
I've gotten to shoot some events that are pretty big ticket events that I never really thought I was going to be able to shoot, and then I'm out here at, I was 18 when I shot those, and out there with professional photographers shooting some of the largest bike events in the world. Crankworks in Whistler is probably it's a week-long kind of like party and like, 12 events that happen over the course of a week. Jeez. From downhill to slope style. Joyride being the big one there. And that's probably my favorite because it's just so much like it's everyone who mountain bikes is there. If you're a serious mountain biker, you're in that, you're in Whistler for a week and it's a lot of fun and you get to meet a lot of people. It's like a great way to connect with other people in the industry, but that's a really fun event to shoot. However, I did get the opportunity to shoot Red Bull Rampage this year.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
So I was there with staff credentials, which was kind of a weird course of events. Have a few buddies that are trail workers, reached out for a press pass, and there I was,
dude, that's
fist bumping Brandon Semenak. So it was a pretty crazy ride, and that was a lot of fun. I took some time off of school and just jetted out to Utah for a couple days and shot that, and that was a really fun thing, and I'm definitely going to be doing those events this next year. I'm trying to add a few more Red Bull events this next year too, if things work out, but we'll see.
That is so sick, dude. That is awesome. So that's the now, which is already amazing. But, what is like? Do you have any like future things or like?
Yeah. So I'll be graduating from college in a year and a half ish, somewhere in there. So come that time, I'm really going to be trying to go straight into a company. I'm not a massive big on freelance photography. I'm gonna be real with you.
Sure.
I like the consistent paychecks and boss kind of vibe to me, where I like my freedom to go and shoot what I want to and shoot the kind of events I like. But I also like having not have to worry about when my next paychecks is coming in and that kind of thing. On that side, I like the funding behind my photography, which is kind of where I'm going. I'm probably going to go into the design field on that side. I'm trying to intern with a few different companies this next year in that realm of outdoor design and those kind of things. But the dream is to have a job that I just get to go and shoot photos for the year and have these long-term stories and photo stories that I work on and kind of get just paid to do action sports.
That'd be amazing.
Is the dream. And I don't think it's that far of a dream at this point from where I'm at, but there's some work that I have to do for sure.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it comes with time. Yeah, I mean, just getting into those events and being able to meet those people, have those connections, take those pictures already is huge.
I would say it does help coming from backgrounds in extreme sports. I've raced, like I said, I raced cross country biking, I've raced enduro biking, I've raced downhill biking, I was I dabbled in snowboarding for a bit. I've been snowboarding since I was 2, but it's always kind of been an afterthought for me. I like my summers.
Sure.
But I raced competitively at a fairly high level snowboarding, and that helped those realms come together pretty often.
Awesome.
And that helped me kind of relate to like Red Bull and some other companies like that, where I made some connections pretty early on.
Sure. Dude, that's so sick. That's crazy. So you mentioned you went to high school in Oregon, but let's go back even farther. Just like from the moment you were born to now, where have you been?
Portland.
Okay,
my whole
Portland,
life. I was born and raised in Portland, Oregon. My family's kind of from all over. My dad's side's from Mexico originally, so I have my abuelito that still lives down there we're technically from a little tiny town called Puerto de Mango, which is kind of near Guadalajara, if you know where that is. But my mom is the opposite. She's from New England and kind of moved out. And my parents met in Spokane, of all places.
Crazy.
Compton, as we like to call it. But I was born and raised in Portland, and I'm thankful for it. I never really realized until I left how blessed I was growing up in a place like that.
Sure.
It's a pretty big city, so I got that vibe. But I also grew up on Mount Hood pretty much since I was born, which is a big mountain looking at it now. It seems small to me because I'm on it daily and practically live on it. But
the mountains in the Bitterroot Valley are just not the same.
No, these are hills here. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. I've been calling most of these hills.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Yeah.
They're big, but not that big.
Yeah, you almost got to go like farther south or like more west. To get.
Cascades. Growing up in the Cascades is just a different kind of.
That's so wild.
I grew up on traveling to Bend for day trips and to like snowboard and mountain bike down Bachelor. I grew up on Mount Hood, so we have 12,000-foot mountain.
Oh, I don't remember what it is, but it's big.
We have a glacier, so it's year-round snowboarding and skiing if you like that. Or people like me, we got some good mountain biking as well. And then up to Whistler and like through that Cascade range of just big mountains. A lot of fun.
We never asked this. I never asked this question. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Oh, you're 19. Okay, cool.
Yes. So I graduate from college before I turn 21.
Which is awesome. That's so sick.
I don't like college.
Sure. You're ready to go. I
didn't really want to go to college. I was kind of forced into forced into it by my parents because of grades and whatnot. But I wanted to jump straight into photography.
Right. Yeah, you're ready.
My parents thought that was a bad idea. So here I am in Missoula, of all places, studying journalism.
Heck yeah.
But it could be worse. There's some cool places.
Where do you think next?
Oh, that's a great question. BC, probably. British Columbia.
Okay, British Columbia. Okay, cool.
I think that's probably my next stop. Maybe back to Oregon for a bit. I love Oregon.
Sure.
It's a cool vibe. But I think British Columbia is the next place. It just is kind of the mecca of mountain biking.
Okay.
It's got Whistler. It's got these big mountains. You have a lot of pro riders that call it home.
Cool.
And I mean, I'm gonna say it again. Whistler. If you've never been there for bike season, I suggest it. It is the best bike park in the world.
That's so exciting. So awesome, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have like any like inspirations with your photography? Like, is there anybody that you kind of like try to like take example from or anything like that?
Shout out Moritz Oblinger. He's a Austrian photographer. Met him up in Whistler a couple years ago, and that guy is a big inspiration for how I shoot my photography. He does some really cool work, and kind of just in the realms that I like to shoot. Outside of that, I don't know about other photographers like you see online. You see all these Instagram photographers, and they're all amazing. Like, you can pair your stuff all day, and you're going to lose to them every time, even if it's like on the same level. But also just other photographers in my life. I will say, like, I never wanted to go to college. I am thankful that I am here now because of some of the photographers that are at this program that I'm in. We have some pretty, like, big ticket, like, journalists that call Montana home and that teach at the University of Montana. This semester we have Chris Johns, the former editor-in-chief of National Geographic. He is casually just teaching my photo class this semester.
Damn, that's crazy.
And he is a big inspiration to me. He has shot some very interesting things. He has a long career in photography, and I really respect what he's done and what he's shot.
That's cool.
I'm gonna shoot a project coming up that's on it's like based off of I-90 and like kind of the politics this country has gone, like where politics meets people, and showing like different places and stuff. And
cool.
He did one of I-93 in his career that's really inspiring me on how I'm going to shoot that and all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
But,
that's awesome.
He's really cool, super nice. It's just kind of weird that I have just this like friendly, super like, he walks in and we just start talking about some very random things.
Sure.
He walks in, he's the advisor for my work at the moment. So
okay. Okay, cool.
So he just walks into the office and we just chat about random things. He constantly wants snacks and we connect over that. Yeah, and then we have a few other teachers. Last semester I had a teacher named Lisa Krantz.
Okay.
Recently she won a Pulitzer Prize in photography for her story, and she was a really good photographer, and I learned a lot from her class. And we have a bunch of different people like that in that program that really inspire me. Even if I'm not necessarily going into journalism,
sure,
they're an inspiration of how you make this whole like lifestyle really work. And they have many years of experience to show that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to see.
And helpful conversations, I'm sure. And
very.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange to have these high-profile people, and then you make fun of each other in class. Sure. That's essentially what we do in that building. But
that's crazy, man. Yeah. Let's say like National Geographic was like, Diego, we need you to film some like cheetahs in the desert or something like that. Would you be like totally down?
I'm open to everything. I'm that kind of person.
Sure.
I try everything once. I like go and do everything. That's kind of just me. I would definitely jump on that offer just because it might be journalism, it might be these other things, but I'm a photographer at the end of the day, and any kind of thing that would advance my career in any way, I would take.
Sure.
I mean, that's why I'm doing the job that I'm doing now. It's why I'm doing the degree I'm doing now.
Absolutely.
It helps me later on, whatever I choose to do later.
Right, yeah. What would you say to like a 14, 15-year-old kid who's like, looks at your stuff and is like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. I want to be getting there.
Just keep shooting photos.
That's what you tell them?
We all started.
Sure.
we all started that way. The more photos you take, the better you're gonna get. That's the fundamental of photography, is that even if you just start shooting random things in your yard, it's building muscle memory, you're building compositional awareness. There's a lot of things that, like, without you even knowing, you're gonna get better at over time. You're gonna learn how to use your camera. You're gonna learn how to just look at life differently. I feel like that's something that like took me a long time. Is just like, I looked at life from like the average person for a long time doing photography, and then once I started looking at it from life as a photographer, things kind of shifted, because now I see everything in like what makes a photo rather than what it is.
Right, exactly.
Which takes time to develop. It's not an instant thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's super cool. It made me think of something like I had like this older person tell me that it was ridiculous that I spent the amount of money I did on my camera, and like just because of like iPhones, right? Yeah. So like, what would you say to like people who are like saying like iPhone technology is advancing with pictures and videos? Why do we need cameras?
First off, don't listen to them. They clearly don't know anything about cameras.
True.
It's the same people that say megapixels are everything. At the end of the day, how you use your camera is a lot more important than what specs your camera has.
Sure.
Yeah, your phone might be able to shoot the same amount of video, but it doesn't have aperture. It doesn't have shutter speed. It doesn't have all these things that really make a shutter of a camera work. The second thing is that you can't take money like after death. Money's temporary. What you'll get out of having a nicer camera, like I'm not saying go out and buy $8,000 camera, your
All
first
right.
day in photography. Work your way up, but at the end of the day, if you're thinking about going to that next step of camera, it's just money. You're gonna get a lot more use out of it, and yeah, you're just gonna get a lot more use out of it no matter what. And
Sure.
it's experience,
Absolutely.
which is a big thing, and that's kind of how I live. It's just experiences over financial stability.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, just whatever you have, use it. A lot of people use iPhones because it's easy, but a lot of people that's all they have access to.
Exactly.
And from that standpoint, I would say use your iPhone until you can upgrade, or until, like, if you never want to upgrade, that's on you, but just use what you have.
Right.
Even if it's a 40-year-old camera, it doesn't really matter.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's been a lot of advertising even, like, on TV, too, for, like, iPhones, right? Like, it filmed on iPhone or, like, shot on iPhone.
They're a cool bit of technology.
Right, exactly.
We all have them. I have one in my pocket. Do I use it for my photography? No, because I am looking for different things. If I was looking for iPhone photography, I would use an iPhone.
Right. Yeah. That's a great answer for sure. Do you have like a picture in your head of like what your favorite image you've ever captured?
Yes. I have this one image. I heard a lot of different things on it, but it's a Brandon Semenak doing a tail whip off of a 25-foot drop at Red Bull Rampage that I got in October of this last year. And to me, like, when I think of a photo, that's like the photo of mine that I really love. I have a lot of other photos, and everyone has their differences on which one they like the most of my work.
Sure.
But that's the photo that when I think of like my photography, it comes into mind. It's my iPhone screen, like wallpaper. It's I really love the photo, but it also is a reminder that there's certain things that I could do better, and that's kind of why I keep it around, because I'm always going to see those imperfections, but that's kind of what drives me to become better.
Absolutely. That's a great answer, for sure. Yeah, I'll have to get that picture of me. I'll put it somewhere here in this video.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do that. Yeah, so I've ended every single video with the same question to everybody. ECCENTRICS United's tagline is "To be you," right? So for the people watching this, how would you say from your perspective to be yourself?
Just do what you want to do. Don't let anyone else tell you what you're supposed to do, what career you're supposed to go into. Just do what makes you happy. Life's too short to not do it.
Dude, for real. Absolutely agree. Awesome. Is there anything you want to like plug or shout out or anything like that?
My website's diegorayhernandez.com. I have my Instagram and stuff connected to that. But yeah, check out my work.
Yeah, absolutely.
It helps me gain traction. So.
For sure. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we'll put the links here and description and everything like that. And yeah, dude, thank you so much for doing this.
Of course.
Appreciate it. Video done.